So in a transaction where the buyer does not buy the whole company, often you have to come up with an agreement between the buyer and the seller on how the company will be managed after the closing. Typically, this is done in an LLC operating agreement or a shareholder agreement, depending on the structure of the business. And one of the things that often comes up, it's kind of the default approach on this, is in that go forward operation of the business, the parties will waive fiduciary duties between one another. And it sounds good. Like everybody says, oh, let's waive those so we don't have the responsibility anymore. But I think people are too quick to waive fiduciary duties. And this is true both for the buyer and the seller. And instead, they ought to step back and think a little bit about what that means. The primary fiduciary duties we're talking about are the duties of loyalty and the duties of care. Well, duty of loyalty means you're not going to go out and undersell this enterprise with some other venture you have, or direct customer opportunities or acquisition opportunities to someone else. Why wouldn't the parties in most cases want to agree that they're going to direct all their energies into this venture? And the other duty, the duty of care, basically, at least in Delaware, is a process due care. You got to show up to meetings prepared. You got to ask questions. You got to engage in the business. Why wouldn't parties want that? And you really might want to think your way through that. Now, I will say, I know what's going on here because I've advised clients on this. One of the things clients are thinking of is, I don't want to get sued by the other party over this. Of course, I'm going to bring everything to the table as if I were bound by those duties, but I just don't want to open exposure for a lawsuit. So that's a legitimate concern on some level, and the parties need to work their way through that.